Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Apex Online Racing social event here in Project Cars 2. This is the first time I have had the opportunity to commentate in a P Cars 2 race. So this is a mixed lobby, mixed event, as a mixed lobby, mixed category race. We have got LMP1, LMP2 and GTE. We have got 9 of 1. I say we have had sign up at least 9 LMP1s, 8 LMP2s and 11 GTEs. Now some people have had to drop out, some people have had trouble finding the server, so we are a little bit out of kilter as far as who signed up as to who is available. However, you can see what I can see, lots of lovely things that should help the commentary go very smoothly. That's not how you take that corner, Colonel McCoy, naughty boy. That is the Marek LMP2 that he is in. Now, I'm not familiar with all of the LMP cars visually, but I will do my best to see who is in what. That is unmistakably a beautiful Corvette, raced by Rigor, who had actually hinted he wasn't going to be able to make it, but glad to see he is here. We have got Villa Lobos, not a name I'm familiar with. He is driving the M6. Beautiful roaring engine of that GTE. We have got Matt in. I think that is the Audi. He is in. There is only one Audi LMP1, unlike Project Cars 1, that had two. That's the R18 and the R18 e-tron. Only the e-tron survived the migration across to P Cars 2. So that is what Matt is in. Zion, as he comes across the line, he is also in an Audi, I think. Yes, he is. He's actually running a custom livery. That's why his car appears white. Domino, also a name I'm not familiar with, so welcome to you, welcome to Zion as well, also running the e-tron Audi. Why? That's not what I want to do. Now that is a Ligier, I think. That is a LMP2, the Ligiers in the LMP2 category. So nice to see that one of the new cars, weird double front wing element there on just below the lights. So that is GTE fanboy, oh the irony, he is running in an LMP2, so welcome to you as well. Fizzy! Lord Fizzy is in the e-tron as well. The popular LMP1 car is quite quick, but not necessarily over an endurance race at the fastest. Mary Marvin, that's not a name I'm familiar with, so welcome to you. And we have our first time on the board by Matt in the LMP1 category. 1:13.379. As you can see, we are here in the road version of Indianapolis Circuit. This is a practice session, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen. My voice. I did wonder why, actually, and I'm just going to adjust that a little bit. I was just watching the. Funny you mentioned that, Black Bill. I was just watching the levels, thinking the cars are loud to me. So I'm just going to turn that down a little. We'll see if that helps matters. Now, this is not qualifying. This is, like I say, just a little 5-minute practice session to try and get people in the server that were struggling to find us. Here's another new name, Doc. So welcome to you. Also running the F1 Quattro. Domino set a time of 1:13.269. Apparently the LMP1s or the Audis are capable of a 1:11. So we'll see if they are able to do so. Let's turn the gain up on my microphone ever so slightly. So when the so we've got another 10 seconds. You can see the timer at the top to before we switch over to our proper qualifying session. It's a 30-minute qualifying session. It's going to be 10 minutes per category. LMP1s will go first, then the LMP2s. As you can see, the countdown timer has now begun to indicate when this practice session will end. So LMP1s will go out for the first 10 minutes, then they will get off circuit. The LMP2s will have their go, and then the GTEs will follow suit soon afterwards. So the top time in this session was that 1:12.1 by Domino. Oh no, it's not Mr. Fizzy. Getting on that 1:11.799, very nicely done. Who else can we C. Colonel McCoy, we have already seen. Ticklish Pickle Wickle. There you go, 124-1. He's in the LMP2 category. I think that's one of the Legiers, again, that double front element there, giving that away. McLaren Paris, welcome to you. Looks like that is definitely a Ferrari that you are in. So welcome to you. Daewoo, I recognise your name, sir. Is that the Lambo he's in? I couldn't quite tell from that particular shot. Rigor, we know, is running his beloved Corvette. Lebo. Fizzy and Wycombs are pulling 109s. But are they doing that? Are they doing that in time trial trim or in race trim though, Bankai? Because I think those 109s are time trial times. I think. Could be totally wrong on that one. But they are very, very close. I saw that forum post as well, that Wycombs and Fizzy were within 2/10 of one another, about 1.5 tenths apart. I believe Wycombs very slightly ahead of Fizzy. Right, so this practice session has come to an end. There you go, that gives you a bit of an overview of who we have got. We have 9 GTEs, 4 LMP2s, and 8 LMP1s currently with us. Hopefully, those that signed up that were due to fill out the LMP2 field particularly will jump on board. So our 30-minute qualifying session has begun. This is an opportunity for the LMP1s to get out there and get on with the job, and that's a GTE that's leaving the field. Unless I've got the running order wrong, I thought the LMP1s were first. It could be that the GTEs are going out first, and it looks very much like the GTEs are going out first. That's a pair of Fords that are running. It's nice to see that the GTE field is not full of Ferraris. Not slating the Ferraris as such, but the Ferrari is a very, very strong car in the GTE field, and I would say I got the ordering wrong because all the GTEs are coming out. So that is a I keep saying M3. No, the M3 didn't make it into the game. Oh, thank you, Bankai. Basically, I got the ordering completely wrong. It's the GTE with LMP2 second and LMP1's last. So out comes Groby. Win the Ford. There's a couple of Fords actually in this field. Andrex on the M6. I can't tell who that is directly behind it. Colonel McCoy, but I'm pretty sure Colonel McCoy is an LMP2. Yes, it is. The only one thing I don't have, unfortunately, is a relative screen. That's not what I wanted to do. So I can't tell the car that's directly ahead of the one I'm looking at, but oh, what a lovely snap. But we'll see how that goes. Rigor out in his beloved Corvette. Another M6. Oh yes, thank you, Bankai. Yes, the M6 is a roar. That the Corvette's quite nice, but that M6 just has that really deep sound to it. Now, unfortunately, I can't see why Villalobos has that exclamation mark next to his name. Won't tell me. You have to forgive me for kind of feeding my way through the field, through the interface. And hello back to you from South America. Let's see if I can get your name right. It's Seba Shipman. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. Dangerous Ginetta in the M6 as well, spitting away. I think he's just starting his lap. Daewoo, that's a Ford he's in. I thought that was the Lamborghini. It's not. That is a Ford that he is currently in. Lebo in a Ferrari. Actually, very few Ferraris in this field. Morvik also in the Ford. Baron Paris in the Ferrari. So 2 Ferraris in this field. And there is Groby, as we previously saw, in the Ford. So, I love that black livery actually on the Ford. Very, very nice. Hello, Seiki. Good to see you, chap. Welcome to you. Just clicking on those arrows in the middle of the interface at the top. Doesn't seem to do anything. Hello, Yorkie. Very glad to have you in the stream. It's a shame you aren't in front of the camera. But thank you for stopping by. Yeah, tell me about it, Bankai. How many how many questions have you had about the game? Oh, thank you, Yorkie. Thank you very much. I wonder how many times have you been pestered with why doesn't this work, or why isn't this in the game, or why? I bet you are bombarded with it. Scroby smacks the Rokan out of the way. We are seeing some times on the board then. Currently on the top of the field is McLaren Paris in the Ferrari. They've got another 5 minutes. Yeah, 1 million over 9,000, which a million is. Yes, I know that. So we're just waiting for Daewoo and Lebo to set their laps. Lebo's just coming around the last corner. Yes, he is. So is he going to set a lap? Let's have a look. He does. He says a 1:29.2. The top of the field is still McLaren Paris in that Ferrari. Thank you, Yorkie. Thank you very much. And Daewoo still hasn't set a time yet, but he is out there in the Ford. Now, apparently, the LMP1s will not do this race without having to pit at least once, but the GTEs will actually make. Yeah, Groby's still battering road cars around. I see in the background there. And Daewoo did set a time there of 1:27.6. Now, the LMP1s will likely have to stop during this race. It's an hour-long race. Villalobos is getting close to someone apparently. But it was. I think he backed off actually as he had that Ferrari ahead of him. As Villalobos jumps into third position, that 1:24.4. As representative times now beginning to flood in. McLaren Paris still holding the top of the board, continuing on his merry way to hopefully extend his lead. Roby Ford in second with that 1:24.3. Half a second down from lead, as you can see on the overlay. Villalobos. Also interesting that the top three are all completely different cars. It is Ferrari leads, Ford leads BMW, which again is nice to see. I was a little concerned that we would have one particular car dominating the field. That lovely snap that you hear. Oh, thank you, Zeki. Thank you kindly. Bankai. Yeah. I fully agree there, Zeki. Morvig's in the pits then. If Ferrari is cowering, don't make me go out there again! I'm shaking! Daewoo still out there in the Ford. Garish green on that livery there, the BMW behind him. 1:26.2, he's got a bit of time to find. Raigord just crosses the line, doesn't improve. I think he did a little bit. He did indeed, up to 6th position with that 1:26.1. The sole Corvette in the field. And oops! Gave it a little bit too many beans into the first turn, and he has come back to the pits. Ooh, still out there. Lebo is in the pits in the Ferrari, and he is not gonna. Andrex hasn't set a time, I've just realised, so he is out there in the BMW. This is his view. Following it around his lap then. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. Good to see you. Steady, Bankai. But I know what you mean. Oh, I haven't got my circuit map up. Naughty me. As Andrex, very, very tight turn that he's just come into there. And out round to the left. Careful not to run too wide. Snap out to the left then. Stamp on the gas, but keep it very tight to the apex then as he comes to complete the lap. And where does that put Andrex? It will put him in. Was this him starting his lap? Must be him starting his lap, or he has had it invalidated. Just got enough time to get this complete before the LMP2s come out and have a play. LMP2s being Colonel McCoy, GTE fanboy, Mary Marvin. A weird bouncing effect. Just flicking between the cameras just so that I can see what's what. So you have to forgive me, I'm getting used to all the buttons. Oh, marvellous. Oh, that's useful. Oh no, that's not good. Well, that's good to have on at a moment's notice, but that's good actually having the map there. I didn't realise you could do that. What I've found, Bankai, is that the GTEs are quicker than the GT3s. The Ferrari GT3 seems to be the rule of the roost, but how the GTE Ferrari stacks, I don't know. And Andrex has completely backed out of that. Interesting. Speaking of the Ferraris, here is one coming up behind him, and he's jumped back to the pit. So that is the end of Andrex's qualifying run. He will be starting from the back of the GTE field. So the GTEs should be coming back very soon. It's a shame you can't click on the map actually to see who's who. That would be useful. So that's Lebo that is out there, and that's McLaren Paris. It is indeed. Does he extend his lead? I don't think he does. Villalobos is very, very close to the back of McLaren Paris for the head of that GTE field time. The only two to beat 124. So that is Ferrari and... Look at them bouncing around. The cars are terrified. So the top of the GT field are basically the Ferrari and the BMW. Now, do we have some LMP2s on the field? We do. Conor McCoy leading the way then. I say leading the way. I think we have got a couple of LMP2s already out there. And that's actually Lebo that is still on circuit. He should have returned to the pits by now. Let's see what Lebo is doing. McLaren Paris should have also returned to the pits as well, but he is completing his lap. He may have been granted permission to do so. But they're going to have to get out of the way of the LMP2s when they come through. That could actually be Lebo starting his lap, which is interesting because, like I say, the GTE window has actually closed. And that's a Marek, a very distinctive roar of the Marek LMP2. For Conor McCoy, and McLaren Paris has just set a new fastest lap, as has been highlighted at the bottom. He has indeed 1:23.6. Very nicely done. He jumps back to the pit as a result of that. Who else is on circuit? So that's Conor McCoy coming around, as you can see, the last couple of turns. GTE fanboy. Yeah, that's a Ligier. I believe that's one of the Ligiers. Couldn't tell you which version though. There are 3, I believe, different versions of the Ligier. They have different engines within them. I couldn't tell you which one is which. We've got Mary Marvin. That's out there in. That's also one of the Ligiers. So he's just coming around that final turn to start his lap. There he goes. I'm looking at my circuit map thinking, why... I keep right-clicking there, which wants to kick me out of the session. So the LMP2s are mainly Ligiers, it would seem. This is where Yorkie jumps up and says, "No, you fool, it's this car." The actual circuit map I've got is wrong, so I'll have to basically ignore it. And there is Ticklish Pickle Pickle coming around to start his lap. That is someone stuck in the wall, by the look of it. Yep, there you go. There's a Ferrari that is stuck in the wall. I suspect that is... Oh, there's a Ford that is... Is that Villalobos? Nope. We'll figure out who that is later. There's another bug for you to to note down there, Yorkie. No, I wouldn't expect you to do that. You're not working. Thank you, Bankai. Thank you. So Conor McCoy then, 1:29.1 is the time he's just set. Not quite why the camera faces up to that particular guy in the gantry, considering Conor McCoy is actually still on track. I am a little bit unsure about. Oh, that's Lebo's car that's bouncing along the wall. Canon McCoy is actually getting out of the way as we have got a new fastest lap. It is by a GTE fanboy in his Ligier 1:22.672. We don't really need that split data on there, do we? Well, that standings button doesn't do anything because I would have expected this pane here to disappear. Mary Marvin in his Ligier is continuing on his merry way. Oh, you are working at the moment. Oh, Yorkie. It's dedicated to the cause. Good on you. It would seem not, Bango. What's probably happened is that the car has actually deemed to be retired, but for some reason the actual model of the car is wedged in the wall. So we're just going to keep an eye on that because he is actually bouncing along the wall, as you can see. Oh no, he's not actually moving. The camera makes it look like he's moving, but he's actually wedged still. He's have to put up with that popcorn-like noise as he's wedged in the wall. Then, so another 0.6 quicker than 4 GT fanboys. He's crossed the line. Tickets Pickle Wickle is in that twisty bit there, as you can see. That's 8, 9, and 10, I think. No, this track map I've got is completely wrong. So I'm just going to get rid of that, otherwise it's going to keep confusing me. Where's Colonel McCoy? Let's see where he is. He's not alongside of the lap, actually. That's turn 3, I believe. That small chicane there, which is a little bit more, it's a little bit deceptive, that one. It looks fairly open, but you go that little bit too quick, and I can tell you why Colonel McCoy binned that lap is he went too wide. He exceeded the white line on the outside. Ah, got you, Yorkie. Thank you for that. Hello, Def. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, that chicane I was just mentioning, which is turns, if I count right, it's 5 and 6. You've really got to stay tight to the exit of that, because if you wander too far over to the left, despite the fact that there is tarmac runoff area there, you will invalidate your lap. And that is GT Fanboy, who was temporarily knocked off the top. Another 0.8. He's just taken off. Wow. 1:20.8. Very nicely done there in the Ligier. Ligier seems to be the LMP2 car of choice. Speaking of which, there is... That's not Mary Marvin. He's in the black. Ligier, he does improve, but not enough to dethrone GT Fanboy. That was Ticklish Picklewickle you saw getting out of the way of GT Fanboy. Only 4 LMP2s in this race, it would seem. It's a shame. We did have 8 signed up, but sadly, not everybody could make it. And some people had a little bit of trouble finding the server. Now, all 3 driver aids were available to the drivers should they choose to do so. However, I believe the common theme is people are experimenting with ABS and traction control, but have opted not to use the stability control, and I can perfectly understand that, having driven quite a few different cars myself in this game so far, and a bit of a time trial monster. I like to time trial a lot. And I find the stability control does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to stop the car from over-rotating. The problem is it stops the car rotating at a time when I want it to rotate. And that was Colonel McCoy going to be close to that Ferrari that's wedged in the side. So Colonel McCoy has got a lot of time to find. He hasn't really set a representative lap in the Marek, as he is about 6, well, he is indeed 6 seconds down from pole at the moment. But I think he has now just started a time lap, so he will be making his merry way all around the field. GT Fanboy has decided to jump back to the pits. 2 more minutes for the LMP2s to increase their time. So that is GT Fanboy's time done. That I don't know whether it's the sound settings I'm using, but that exhaust explosion sounds definitely loud compared to the engines. Could just be the settings I've got in place, but sadly I can't do anything about that at the moment. So if I hit escape to try and bring that menu up, that's what happens. Oh well, There's nothing I can do about that now. So GT Fanboy is on pole by half a second over this man, Mary Marvin. Now we have got 2 cars coming towards the end of the lap, as we can see, and Mary Marvin is up. That is Ticklish Picklewickle in the 3rd Ligier. Does he improve in his time? No, he was a couple of hundreds down. Colonel McCoy has just crossed the line, and he is in 3rd. I went to click on his name, and he moved in the list. He is now jumped into 3rd with 121.585. So about 2nd down from the top Ligiers at the moment. Continuing on his way less. Well, we have a new pole man, Mary Marvin, by 62 thousandths of a second. I was looking forward to commentating on you, Yorkie. I was having heard your commentaries with Fizzy many a time for the Elite League and GT3s. I was looking forward to commentating on you, but no, you decided not to get the right version of the game installed. So, leader of the LMP2s then is going to be Mary Marvin. Picklewickle and Colonel McCoy continuing on their way as they come around that banking session. You're not on the actual Indianapolis Oval for very long. You kind of see it, and that was Picklewickle. That was parking it on the outside there, allowing Colonel McCoy through. Could have invalidated his lap or made a mistake, so he's allowed McCoy through. Does Colonel McCoy improve? He does, but not by enough to get up another position. So within a second of the top spot, as now we see the LMP1s are beginning to make their way onto circuit then. Wycombs is the first one to hit the gas then in the Audi R18 Quattro, and that is that's a very dramatic exit there by Colonel McCoy. He'll be pretty easy to spot as he's the only Marek in the field. The LMP1s fair enough, Yorkie, fair enough. I hope to get the opportunity to commentate on you very soon. So now the LMP1s are streaming onto the circuit. As you can see on the map, quite a big amount of dots are moving. Wycombs first to jump. When you actually come around to when you see the banking for the first time as you're coming through the twisty bits of the circuit, it makes you think, oh great, I get a load of time on to really floor it. You don't, unfortunately, because as soon as you start to get up to speed, you have to brake very hard for that infield section. As Wycombs comes around the last turn to start his first lap in the R18. We have got Matt, who's actually the last LMP1 on track, also R18. That is also the R18 that Zion is running. Oh, goodness me. That is a Bentley actually directly behind. It looks like a Bentley. It looks like a Bentley Speed 8. The Bentley Speed 8 is an LMP 900. It's not an LMP1. I'm not 100% sure what that car is that's just gone past. So I keep doing that. I keep right-clicking because I got my hand rested on my mouse. Yes, I saw you'd signed up for that, Yorkie. I look forward to whoever takes up the commentary for that. Thank you, Bankai. Thank you very much. I didn't recognise the green skin on the RWD. Yeah, I look forward to seeing your performances in the GT3 League as a driver, Mr. Yorkie. I look forward to seeing anybody and everybody, frankly. Oh no, that's a little bit too much there from Zion. A lot of talk. A lot of talk in that R18. The R18 is a very quick car, but when the KERS runs out, if you haven't had a chance to recharge it at all, you are at a big disadvantage. But there are a lot of braking zones in this track, so that shouldn't really be too much of a problem. Damn, I am not reading that out in the recording, but duly noted. As the first times are now coming onto the board, of course, Wycombs is on top of the field as he was first man out. Fizzy is 9/10 down with Domino, as we have just been watching in his R18, coming across the line with a 112, 113 by Doc. So I think it's only 3. No, Seiki, don't do it. Yeah, I'm enjoying the spectator cam. That's your only son. Yeah, thanks. I still have Oh, Groby and Andrex, of course, was GTs that didn't set a time. Footyard! Out he comes then. And they're also green. Is it the RWD? It must be, because it's a slightly different body shape, so... I thought that said Aston Martin on the fin. Oh, Marsh Team! Oh, so I thought it said Aston Martin. Beg your pardon. Hello, Jay Thorne. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Whoa! Steady, Footyard. Got a little bit out of kilter there. My dog is now going nuts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up... Nui. He's actually running the Toyota TS40 Hybrid. I'm going to have to go for a minute because there is actually someone at my door. I will be back shortly. Terribly sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that was a necessary family visit that had to occur. I was hoping that a particular family member would have been here before this started, but never mind. I'm seeing... oh right, amazing, can't believe you say this. And Nui obviously had a big moment that I completely missed. But he set the time 1:15 to 1:63. And continues. I think he's the only Toyota I've seen. Wycombe still our pole sitter. 1:10.383. Fizzy, half a second down. There goes that. Yeah, that's definitely RWD judging by the sound. It's just gone past, so the top three are indeed in the R18s. Domino coming across the line. Does he improve? He does by a 1/10.5, but does not. Whoops, someone tapped the wall there. Top four are R18s. Doc is at the beginning of the lap, just runs a little bit wide there. 1:12.362. Matt just crosses the line to start a lap. Oh dear, that's Footyard is way off the field. That's probably not good in yellow. I don't know why the yellow flag didn't come up. Whoa, he's getting royally out of the way. I was going to say, surely he's jumping back to the pits because there was no one coming up behind Footyard at that moment. So Footyard is the lead RWD with 1:14.769. The sole Toyota of Nui 656. And he's near the beginning of the lap. And that is all of your LMP1s that have set a time. I think that's all. That is indeed all of your LMP1s. Period then. Wycombe is still on field, so how many laps of fuel did he start with? So, watch our pole sitter then. Does he improve? Does he get into the 109s? Across the line. 8,000th improvement. Well, that's a step in the right direction. Gotta give him that. It's difficult to tell who that is behind him, considering I think all of the R18s are running exactly the same livery. It wasn't Fizzy, as he's at the back of the circuit at the moment. And it wasn't Domino either. We have no way of knowing who it was. It's certainly possible to do 109. It depends how light they are on fuel, though. But you would expect them to be pretty light on fuel during qualifying. There is Doc. Just coming out. Who is that that's coming to the end of the lap? Newey, but he did not improve. Is that Futiad? No. Someone else is just about to cross the line. Futiad had no way of knowing who it was as Newey jumps into the pits. Bit of heat into the tyres for Futiad. It has been such a long time since I have commentated on a Project Cars 2 endurance event. So I feel rather rusty, but I'm sure I'll get back into the swing of it before long. Wycombe's going to complete yet another lap. I'm surprised he's still going. He backed off them. Let's jump on board. Well, that one. Turn 1. Very hard on the brakes, so fully charged curves. You can't take turn 2 particularly hard. Turn 3. There's not much of a turn before you have to go back on the brakes again for 4. Hard on the gas. Not too much though. 5 and 6. There is the element you can't run too wide on, because despite the fact there's runoff there, you will invalidate your lap if you go over that wide line. Now, 7. Again, big heavy braking zone. Jump out for 8. Can't give it too much because you will compromise your line for 9. And then down a little bit more for 10. Qualifying is now officially done. And he's already a 10th down, is Wycombe's. So wander onto the banking, but big heavy braking zone for 13. For 14 rather. And then back around again. For 16. Does Wycombe's find that extra bit of time? Assumedly not. Yes, he did, but he didn't beat that 109. But he managed to find that extra 10th he'd lost, and managed to beat his own pole time 1 at 10, 7 cents ahead of Fizzy. Doc has completely backed off, so this is just practice run for him. Here comes Futiad then in the RWD. Across the line, does he improve? He does not. 1:14.769 is the time for him. See, that just looks like the Bentley Speed 8, and I'm going to keep probably calling it the Bentley. But if I do, you now know what I'm talking about. Just 2 cars still remaining on field. Now we are going to be doing a manual rolling start for this, so the green lights will go, and no one will move. The LMP1s will start. The LMP2s will follow in short succession. And the GTEs will have a gap back to them as well. Oh, Nick Mido in his R18 didn't set a time. I thought we had an LMP1 unaccounted for. I try not to know what I'm talking about, Seiki. I wouldn't want to, break a habit of a lifetime. So there it is, your final qualifying results. Then Wycombe's by nearly 0.8 of a second over Fizzy, Domino 3, Doc 4, Matt 5, Newey 6, and Futiad 7 in the LMP1 field. The LMP2s, Murray Marvin leading the way there by just over a 10th, just under a 10th then, over, who was it? It was GTE Fanboy. And here we go then. So this will be... So our 1 hour race has technically begun, as you can see with the time at the top. No one will move initially. Actually, doesn't sound like Wycombe's engine is running at all. Hopefully he hasn't stalled. So after a moment, actually sounds like a moment's silence. Once everybody is connected to the server and is ready to go, I think we have actually lost somebody. It's impossible for me to tell who. We will get this race underway properly. Like I say, when the LMP1 field moves away, we will get this race underway. We are taking quite a long time to get this going. I'm not sure whether we've encountered a problem or not. There's Nick Mido in his LMP1 right in the midst of the GTE field. His start is going to be rather awkward. What is happening with our race at the moment? The camera is doing more moving than the cars at the moment. So I don't know what is going on at this stage. hopefully we will have some movement very, very soon. The first time I've seen this. Joined a number of online lobbies myself and haven't had this particular problem. I love the ambient noise. Someone's racing somewhere. Aha! Now the time has been reset. Sinking! I'm sinking! No. And there are the familiar time lights then. So of course, know when he's going to move. And Wycombes will set the field away. So the LMP1 field now moving off. They will lead the LMP2 field. LMP2 is now getting underway as well. There will be a bit of a gap, 10 seconds give or take, between the three categories. And Nick Mido has actually been allowed to come through the field. He should catch up with the back of the LMP1s, which is the far safer way of doing it. He will end up only tripping over cars because he's got to be very careful about how he proceeds through the LMP2s, because the LMP2s will want to be warming their tyres as well. And the GTEs then are also on their way. So there will be... Oh, we have no map. Map's turned off. There we go. So, as you can see, the LMP1s are on that back straight already. Quite a big gap actually for the GTEs. That's probably bigger than they initially planned for. Whoops! That's Lebo getting a little bit tail happy there, which is surprisingly easy at low speed. The downforce can't do its proper job at slower speeds. Roby in the back and forward. Roby and Andrex either opting not to or not able to set a lap time. Just for you, Bankai. In fact, hang on, do it properly. There we go. Just for you, my friend. Okay, so the LMP1s have formed into the 2x2, which in some corners is actually very difficult to maintain. The top 5 are indeed the Audi R18s. Newey in that Toyota. So the LMP1s will be getting their race underway very, very shortly. Wycombes has the choice of when to floor it and get this race underway for the LMP1s. That's what it looks like from Newey's Toyota, and away they go. And look how quickly those Audis take off from the spot with the extra curse power they've got. And Domino already has the jump on Fizzy then for their second position as they take that very tight right-hander. Wycombes, like a scalded cat, is away. Domino and Fizzy really very close to one another. There you see Doc has taken that third position from Domino as well. So all action stations at the moment. Newey's hanging on in there in that Toyota. Oh, that's trouble. That was Matt that got very sideways then. And there's the LMP2 field just behind them. And now the GTEs have also got their race underway. There we go, it's led by the Ferrari of McLaren Paris. He again has managed to get himself some decent gap. So in the two M6s that are side by side through turn 3, they've just managed to avoid contact then. And there's a Ford right up with them. That is Dawu that is in the Ford. Oh, I thought that Ford was getting a little bit squirrely. There is Rigor in the one and only Corvette with, I think it's, no, that's not Lebo. Oh, the positions are a little bit skewed. Still has Nick Mido down there in 18th. Quite why he's listed in 18th position when he's, as you can see, he's there with the LMP1s. Oh, he's a lap down according to the red dots there. So unfortunately the overlay is not working correctly. But never mind. Look at that. That is Matt and Domino very close to one another. For that's what I actually think is 7th and 8th as opposed to 6th and 7th that the overlay is saying. See the big clumps of the LMP1 field still particularly close to one another. GTE fanboy. The LMP2s haven't spread out to a great degree. That's Ticklish Pickle Wickle at the back of the field in the green one. That's the Marek of Colonel McCoy having a look at the inside. He's not going to try for both of them. Oh my goodness, he is! He had a cracker trying to take the lead of the category. Couldn't quite. Oh, argy-bargy going on there between Colonel McCoy and GTE fanboy. That was a great move by Colonel McCoy, but he sensibly backed out of it to avoid contact with Mary Marvin. Goodness me, that was close. Yeah, Nick Mido is indeed actually listed a lap down. And that's where Nick Mido actually is. You can see his arrow. He's actually 4th in class, but he's listed down in 18th. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Colonel McCoy still has. He splits the front 2 Legios in the LMP2 field at the moment. Domino is got company with who exactly? That's not Futiat. Oh yes, it is. Beg your pardon. That's Futiat in the IWD. So it's Newey. This surely is an opportunity then. Oh, look at that! Look at the extra speed that Domino had with that extra Kurz power from the R18. Blast past the RWD and takes that 5th position for himself. Very nicely done. Here come the LMP2s. They're still very, very close. And Colonel McCoy's actually taken the lead of the category. Goodness me, he's whilst he was qualified in 3rd, I think it was, in class, he has taken the lead, but he's... Oh, goodness me, that's Mary Marvin getting very, very close to GT Fanboy. Mary Marvin was actually leading that class last time we looked at him, but is now down in 3rd in class. Ticklish Bicklewickle doing what he can to try and catch up with the field. That is what it looks like from Fanboy's perspective. That is what Mary Marvin can see, which is basically a windscreen full of that blue Ligier. I definitely need to change my car volumes next time because those engines are way too quiet. Villalobos get to the next time the camera in his M6. I think he's actually just had a moment somewhere because he was much closer to that Ferrari, but that is between himself and McLaren Paris for the lead of the GTE field. There is Morvig then in the Ford. Who is the... See, the position's not working right because that I can't select who that M6 is. That Morvig's trying to overtake. Oh, goodness me, that's very, very close. I'm not actually sure who that is, I'm afraid, because Villalobos is about 3 seconds down the road, which that clearly is not. Oh, we've got this problem again. I think it's either Andrex or Groby. It's not... oh, it's Andrex. That's why we can't select him. He's actually listed in 18th. Nick Mido is actually down in last, apparently. There he is. He seems to not be registering in laps for some reason. Dawu trying to get on the inside of the Ford of Morvik. Oh, goodness me, that is very, very close between the two Fords. The GTE fields are still fairly close together. We found this a lot with the GT3s. Where, oh, trouble! That is trouble for Morvik. Oh, my goodness me. He's collected a lot of people. That's a lot of damage that's been caused by that spin. That's Rigor facing the wrong way. Oh, goodness me. Disaster for the Corvette. Either damage is on or it's just on visually. But he is not moving. He's wedged up against the wall. That's a big old accident for him. It was Groby then that's beginning to get the LMP1's coming past him. There's Mary Marvin still with that. GT Fanboy still directly ahead of him. You can see Colonel McCoy is breaking away from the these two Ligiers. Fizzy is down in 5th now. He's not been able to hang on to Wycombs. Wycombs is away 5-second lead for his R18. Fizzy been sliding through the field. Andrex is... I'm having to guess at his position, I'm afraid, because they... oops! As that is an LMP1 that is tripping over them a little bit. That is the black and green Ford of... No. I'm trying to work out who that is. Riker is going again, but that Corvette is limping. So I would think that full damage is on for this race. I actually thought damage was off for this race, but I suspect by that standard, he's got no wing, missing body panels. I guess the car is a bit lighter. No, Bankai. You raise a good point there. I believe Andrex, Groby and Nick Mido did not set a qualifying time, but they are setting laps. But it would seem that their laps are not being counted, which is why they are appearing as out of position. Look at Groby's Ford. That is diffusers hanging off. That is an unhappy Ford. Andrex carrying on though. He's got an LMP1 trying to scythe his way past. Oops! Scythe, rather be taken literally then. As that is... I'm trying to work out which... Oh, that's Dawoo's Ford. It's because of that contact that Andrex has just had, that slowed the M6 down and allowed Dawoo in his Ford to come past. And unfortunately, I've got no way of knowing who's exactly in which position. Groby then is in the pits after his accident, and that's Morvik coming in as well on his Ford. Now, didn't think Morvik was involved in that particular melee, but he's in as well. Larry Marvin and the LMP2 still has close racing with the GT Fanboy, the second Ligier, and that is Domino that is Newey ahead of him. Newey in third in the Toyota, very nicely done. Now we're seeing the Audi has got the straight line speed advantage, but again that KERS deployment is not serving it well. It's all the way around the lap as the Toyota is doing a pretty good job of hanging on to the back of that Audi. That is Morvik's Ford that has just come past. Rigel still in the pits. Oh, his pit crew are busy, I imagine. Gooby Groby's retired, as his pit crew haven't even come out. Let's run through where everybody is, as that is a Ligier that Wycombs has just come past. Wycombs leads by nearly 10 seconds then. Our pole man, by quite a comfortable margin, continues to lead. We are 10 minutes done in this race with 50 minutes remaining. Second is Doc in the next Audi R18 as he's coming through the infield. He's a safe distance, about 5 seconds behind him as well, but he's losing time on Wycombs, the leader. Domino is 5. I see the split times are actually working at the top. That's quite good. So 5.5 forwards, just under 2 behind for Domino. He's got that third position. There is Newey in fourth in the Toyota. As he continues to make his merry way. Fizzy in the R18. He's got damage on that car, so he's had an argument with something or someone. Rigel's still in the pits. Rigel's coming out. So Rigel now with car rebuilt. I keep doing that. And hello, this how do you say that? Sniper Life 1980. Oh, the year I was born. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. Bankai, don't bully Yorkie. Hello, AOR Benjamin. Good to see you as well. So Rigel then, after an extended pit stop, is now back on field, and Groby is actually back out there as well. Ooh, that's a very laggy Morvik. Very, very laggy Morvik. He's actually gone off field. Where is he? Morvik. There he is. Morvik is not having a good time in that Ford. That's Morvik out. Morvik is out. We have lost Morvik. We have our first casualty. Our first retirement, I should say, of this race. He has called it a day. Afternoon? My God, what time is it for you? Oh yes, you were South America, you said. I beg your pardon. I was listening, I promise you. Someone give Morvik some FPS. Well, Morvik is out, so he's not going to make much use of that now. As Wycombs just comes around one of the Ferraris. Where were we? Fizzy, 5th position. He's hanging on to the back of the Toyota of Newey, who magically vanished and reappeared again. Footyat in the RWD. He's on that back straight in 6th position. Are you from Chile? Welcome to you. Welcome. Matt in the R18 in 7th position. Position-wise on the overlay, he is at the back of the LMP1 field, but we know that to be incorrect as he comes around to rejoin the 1 p.m. Pacific Northwest. Welcome to you, sir. Gunnar McCoy leading the LMP2 field in the Marak is absolutely away. It's interesting that he was 3rd in class qualifying-wise and has just been peerless in the LMP2 field. He has been absolutely untouchable for quite some time. So he gets onto that back straight. That is Newey in the Toyota just behind him. There is Mary Marvin, who has shaken off his... Look at that gaggle of cars there. There is the 2 Ligiers of Mary Marvin and GT Fanboy. I was just about to say he's shaken off the other Ligier, but GT Fanboy gets a little bit too deep into that turn because the LMP1s were coming past. That put him off very, very slightly. But he continues on his way nonetheless. The battle for second place in the LMP2 field is continuing strong. And there is Tigris Bickelbickel. He's not too far behind, about 5 seconds or so, which in endurance racing is not a great deal of gap at all. Dawu is in the pits in the Ford. I'm not sure if, because the pit lane is so long, it's difficult to tell when you're coming in or going out. But very, very... See that race feed window is not working properly. Fantastic. I think he's coming out. I think he's had his pit stop and he's on his way out back on the field. And Nick Mido in the LMP1 is coming in, and the camera's jumped to completely the wrong place. Oh no, beg your pardon. I thought Nick Mido was coming into the pits. It's not. He was coming past Andrex in the M6, who is listed as last, but as we know, due to that bug, it is not registering their laps correctly. I wonder. It's no Interlagos. You're right. It is no Interlagos. I wonder how endurance events would go in Brazil. An interesting thought. Still, the LMP2 field is pretty close between Mari Marvin and GT Fanboy. Leader of the GTEs is still McLaren Paris. The car directly behind him is Ashley Groby. Groby has been in the pits, so that is not a position worry for McLaren Paris. At the moment in the Ferrari, he has led the GTE field from the word go, but he is 2.5, about 3 seconds or so ahead of this man, Villalobos, in the growling M6. He's been chasing that red tail fin all race long. And who's that nearby? Oh, there we go. He's working his way past the... that is Tigris Bickelbickel in the... there's Tigris Bickelbickel that he's just gone past. And that's also Darwood Ford. Ooh, that gets very, very nervous when you have to kind of... Not so much a dive bomb, but you have to make an adjustment like that to get around a slower car. It's the faster car's responsibility to make their way past the slower ones. So the GTEs don't have to jump out of the way of the LMP1s. It also makes the attacking manoeuvre far easier to plan if the slower car sticks to the racing line, basically. Everybody knows where they should be. So Matt has got company by Futiyat, as you can see just behind him. There he is, about less than a second separates the RWD and the Audi. That is for 6th position. Well, 6th position according to the overlay, of course. Who haven't we looked at for a while? Lebo in the red Ferrari, or second Ferrari, is continuing on his way in 14th position. He finds himself rather in no man's land. But again, that timing is upset by the issue. That would be awesome, Benjamin. That would be awesome. LMP900 GT1 GTO. But it would depend where, though. Because I'm not convinced the GTOs could keep up with the GT1s and LMP900s at Monza. Dawu in the Ford, we saw him coming into the pits earlier. There we see Tigris Bickelbickel just behind him. I keep right-clicking. Rigor in his rebuilt Corvette. We got a little bit out of shape at, I think that's turn 4 or 5. That's turn 4, because that's 5 and 6. He's just gone through there. He hasn't got back to grips with that Corvette since he's been through the pits, so there go the two Ligiers in 2nd and 3rd in class. 8th and 9th overall. 9th and 10th overall. Well, it depends how much damage they realistically repair in a pit stop, I suppose. I mean, it's got its rear wing back, so it must do fairly well. Futiyat still has company. This is for 6th position. That's right on board with the RWD. Futiyat may have a bit... Oh, for goodness sake! I must stop doing that. Right click. I'm going to rebind that, because right click to exit. We've lost somebody else, actually. Right, unfortunately, I can't tell who it is we've lost. There's bits of body there. I don't know who we've lost, sadly. Yeah, unfortunately, he's going very deep into that particular turn. That's going to lose him a whole bucket load of time on the back of Matt. It's going to be his challenge for that position. Gone. Is it? I think it's Groby. Yeah, it's we've lost and another. We've just lost somebody else actually. Oh, Groby was one of the people we have lost. And hello, Sabo. I assume that's how you say it. Welcome to you. Welcome to the stream. Team Morvik. We've lost Morvik, unfortunately. Morvik sadly retired from the race a little while ago. Ooh, look at that. Footyard right back on Matt's case then. This is for 5th position now. Oh, having a look on the outside at that final turn. That turn 16. But that Audi is just going to plant his foot on the gas. Get that curse down. There's Colonel McCoy in the leading LMP2 in the Marek. Is that Andrex we see in the background there? Yes, it is. There's big old yellow lights. Oh no! Footyard! We heard the bang. Footyard and Matt came together at turn 1. Footyard allowed Matt to regain his position. Oh dear, oh dear. Looked like Morvik was lagging a bit. We saw him spin out in the infield. Didn't seem to have any damage, but then he retired from the race. I think he was lagging more than anything else. Oh, excuse me. That seems to be Footyard seems to be struggling now. He doesn't seem to be getting back up to speed as well as he was before. He's pulling over by the look of it. Okay, taking some boards with him. Footyard may well be having a problem. And who is Domino close to? He's just come past Darwoo's Ford, and that is Doc for second. That Domino is now getting closer. That's a very handy feature, actually, that exclamation mark. No problem. Two Audis very, very close together. I would imagine so, Bankai. So that's TPW. Steve gets Pickle getting out of the way. We have got a race in our hands then for 2nd position overall. This is Rigor's Corvette just go out of the shot. You can see actually on the map the white dot just coming over the line, or just gone through that yellow square, is actually Wycombe's, how far ahead he is. He's about 16.5 seconds ahead time-wise, and you can see where that puts him position-wise, right in the midst of some backmarkers. Reach up to him. Can't see who that is around him. It is, I think that's Colonel McCoy in the Marek, so Wycombe should be able to weave his way past that. We then jump back to this battle for 2nd between Doc and Dom. Oh, is there now getting caught up with Mary Marvin. Oh my goodness me, that was an unusual manoeuvre that Doc had to take there. But that caught Domino rather, completely by surprise. As he had to try to work his way past the LMP2. I know he's close to someone apparently. Oh, that'll be Andrex who's coming past in the M6. According to the overlay, they are swapping 16th and 17th fairly regularly. And Footyard is in the pits then, so yep, I think you were right there, Bankai. After that impact last time around, Footyard feels the need to come into the pits to deal with his damage. But the LMP1s have got to make a pit stop this time around anyway. They have got to make a pit stop at some point in this race. They will not make it the whole race long without having to stop at least once. On board then with the 3rd place Audi of Domino as he flies past, I think it was Nui that he went past that. Oh no, Nui, we've actually lost. I just realised we have lost our Toyota on this race, as that is one of the M6s. There's the... That gets very close. Oh, that's off. Domino is off. He overshot. He got a little bit put off. That's a terrible shot. There we go. He got a bit put off by the M6. He's back in the way again, but that's lost him so much time. Nearly 10 seconds has actually lost him to Doc, unfortunately. Matt's in the pits then. Here's Audi. There's his pit crew tidying the tyres away. Oh, there is Nui. There is Nui in the Toyota. He had indeed retired. It takes so long to get out of the pits in this race. Unfortunately, the camera can't decide which way it's looking. The whole stream of cars comes down the start-finish line as we are fast approaching the halfway point in this race. 35 minutes to go. Another 5 till we hit the halfway point. And everyone is fairly spaced out position-wise. Goodness me. Jumping to... I saw 2 white dots together, actually. It must be Fizz and Dom that's now close together. Yes, it is. And there it is. As you just see, Fizz fly past. I think that's... Oh, I thought that was Dom he was flying past. No, that's the 2 Ligiers he's just jumped past. My mistake. My mistake. And there they are. No, that's an RWD. There is an RWD in that mixture. There it is. So that's got to be... Nope. There's another P1's out of position. There it is. It's Footyat, of course. After Footyat's pit stop. I'll get used to this interface. I hope. Matt's getting close to someone. Let's have a look. So he's working. Matt's been in the pits as well, so he's just coming past Colonel McCoy for position. Not 100% sure if the LMP2s need to pit. More than likely, Bankai. Like I say, I'm not sure if the LMP2s need to actually come into the pits. I would think so, but it really depends on the setup and how hard they drive, I guess. But Matt back on his way then as he comes past the lead LMP2. There in the background you see... No, it's not Footyat, you see. No, it wasn't Mike Hunter. I can't tell. I can't easily tell which LMP that was. Distance between Doc and Dominic is down to about 7.5. Oh goodness me! Doc is really stuck behind that M6. It's not Andrex. And now flies past. No, trying to remember which. Oh, we've just lost somebody else as well. Again, unfortunately, it doesn't tell me who. But I've just seen the overall count go down to 16, so somebody else is now out of the race. As that is Andrex then with Mary Marvin stuck right behind him. Thank you, Yorkie. Yeah, LMP2s probably don't have to pit them. As that is Mary Marvin coming past Andrex. Not a clue what position his game thinks he is in. Same with Nick Ryder. They are continuing on their merry way at nonetheless. My God, look at him go. Now 21-second lead for our pole sitter. It's just been absolutely untouched. If he's had a mistake, it hasn't affected him in the slightest. Lobos is the other M6. That was the M6 I was trying to remember who it was. He's actually very, very close to the GTE class leader, Paris McLaren. So has Paris pitted? Well, if he did, he didn't do it last lap. So the GTEs are now getting in the battle. It wasn't too far apart, actually, the M6 and the Ferrari. As that's Colonel McCoy and one of the LMP1s. Not sure which. LMP1's got caught right in between the two GTEs. So that is going to really slow him down, especially at that particular section. He's going to have to wait for a chance, and there he goes. Oh, Colonel McCoy equally got stuck behind the M6, but he should be able to stay on the inside. Ooh, that might have put the M6 off a little bit, as Colonel McCoy jumped on the inside of Villalobos. But that's the nature of the beast. Oh, there's a Ferrari off. As Lebo, the training Ferrari, is off and through the dust. And back on his way then. Who is it that's retired? Of course, their name isn't in the list anymore, so I can't click on them. Villalobos is right with McLaren Paris, as previously mentioned. Let's go to that one. I tend to use this... no, sorry, not that one. That one. That's the view I tend to use for driving with. But for purpose of the stream, let's have that one. I see the gear count stays on neutral, which is a bit of a shame. Just half a second then separates the two GTE leaders. And Villalobos has been in touch with this Ferrari all race long. It has yet to do anything about usurping him from that position. As he now has, I think it's another one of the Audis right behind him. Nope, that is one of the... That's the RWD. Aha! We have a... Oh, it's TPW, Timothy Picklewickle, who is retired from this race then. Here's a bright green Ligier, sits there in the pits. We now only have 3 LMP2s in this race. That is a great shame. So Doc choosing now to take his pit stop. That allows Fizzy to go up to 3rd place in his very, very battered Audi. Continuing on his way, Futiad has got... That's Colonel McCoy directly ahead of him. He's already ahead of him in position, but of course not really going to be able to keep him behind that. I did it again! Nothing to see here. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness me! What on earth happened there? Colonel McCoy, I think that's fairly safe to say he is out. Colonel McCoy very unceremoniously smashed off the field by Futiad. And there's the... he's able to recover his car. What's remaining of his car, of course, but that is... He had such a lead in class, but there's very little car left. There goes Marvin straight past him. Actually, it looks like... That's more like his... He'd probably have better aerodynamics going backwards. That's a strange graphical glitch there as the body panels keep appearing and disappearing. So Colonel McCoy now going to limp his way back to the pits. What a great shame for the LMP2 frontrunner. So what happened, TBW? What happened to you? Oh no, you ran out of fuel. Oh no. Fizzy's in. Fizzy's into the pits as well in his Audi. There he is. But we have a battle for the... Look how close they are. That's the BMW really piling the pressure on the Ferrari. Oh my goodness me. That was very well... Okay, that's Villalobos wandering off the road there. As there goes another one of the Audis. Fizzy now comes out of the pits as well. Colonel McCoy has made it back. Honestly, it looks like the way that car now looks, it looks like he's going backwards. Oh, Groby, what happened to you? Oh, I hope that's not you in trouble now, Sebas. How do you say it? Sebas Shipman. Well, that's probably going to be Colonel McCoy in the pits for a while. Fizzy now out, and he's at 4th position, and we'll continue on his way. Whoa, my goodness me, what's happened there? Fizzy Okay, there's a bit of lag going on there. That's Andrax's car that has just been plastered into by Fizzy's car, but Fizzy's car didn't really alter trajectory at all. So I think there's a bit of a lag issue going on there. It doesn't look like Andrax's car has got any damage on it either, so that's a bit bizarre. That's Andrax gets back underway again. Evo's catching up with someone. That's Colonel McCoy. And Colonel McCoy is still in the pits, having his car rebuilt. Our race leader, former race leader I should say, is in the pits for his one and only stop. So that hands the overall race lead to Dom. Doc now... Surely he's up to 2nd by now. Or unless he was a lap down, of course. Oh, no way, Groby. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see your upside-down antics. That was indeed Andrax being punted into the air, Hatharian. Wycombs is still showing up in 2nd. I'm a little surprised by that, unless he has, of course, lapped the entire field. I would say that's possibly right, TBW, is Fizzy's car didn't really change trajectory after the impact, so... But Fizzy's name, interestingly, is in red, or sorry, his number is in red. So I wonder if that means he's got himself a penalty of some kind. Yorkie, can you confirm what that means with the position number in red? As the Marek of Colonel McCoy comes through the pits again. Oh no, sorry, he's just coming out of the pits, isn't he? So his car now rebuilt. He now gets back underway. Okay, Seiki, good to see you, mate. See Marek now. He's actually got an LMP2 right ahead of him. That's going to be GT Fanboy, the blue Ligier. Is that Andrex right with him? Nope, it must be the other one, Villalobos. Villalobos finds himself right in between a pair of LMP2s then. Yes, thank you for that, Yorkie. So that is indeed why Freezy's position number appears in red. So if we look at the time, he's got himself a 10-second penalty. What he got that for is a bit of a mystery. I'm assuming he... Oh, there's my dog joining in. Probably got that... Maybe cutting the pit lane. I don't think he would have got that for the impact with Andrex, unless that's what it was for. I suspect it was a pit lane problem. We got a bit of a jumble of cars here. We see Villalobos' M6 right with GT Fanboy's Ligier. And a couple of the Audis. Oh, sorry, that's one of the Audis alongside Colonel McCoy as Nick Mido. Who's he getting close to? Oh, it's getting close to Andrex again, apparently, according to the overlay. Yorkie, are you able to report any of the issues we've noticed, or is it going to be a case of these issues have already been reported? I'm not wanting to kind of pounce on you, saying you must do this, although you can kind of see what the issues are we were getting. Are you able to kind of make a note of them, or would they already be noted, do you think? I see our GTE battle is going on. Oh, there is none, as McLaren Paris is completely on his own. Of course, we saw Villalobos get all out of shape earlier on, didn't we? So the Ferrari now on his own, position-wise, in 9th place. That time penalty for Fizzy isn't really going to do a great deal, as there is a big old gap if we jump to him. He's over a minute ahead of Matt in 5th position, so 10 seconds is not going to do him any harm at all. Although he is a couple of seconds away from Doc, so if he does manage to overtake him, then that could have upset him in the end. And there is that battered Corvette of Rigor. We haven't seen him for a while. Ooh, that's getting a little bit close between Fizzy and Rigor. Side by side through to... There we go. Yeah, extra power and downforce of that Audi. Coming through once again is Domino, our current race leader. Of course, inheriting the lead from Wycons when the Wycons pitted. As he is coming through turn 12, I believe it is. That is indeed 12. Just the wrong right-hander here is 13. So does Dom pit this time? Let's follow him through as he comes through 13. Quick left for 14. No, beg your pardon, that's 14 and 15. Unfortunately, I don't have a track map, so I keep having to remember what the numbers are. And no, he does not pit, so Domino is pushing his car a long way. He's got a 46-second gap to Wycons behind. And looking at the split we just saw there, he's keeping a fairly consistent lap time, so just 4,600s down. 46,000 down, so 400s. As he comes past Andrex, it is indeed. Wycons in second after his pit stop. He's coming through 12 himself. He's rather on his own. 28 seconds down the road is this man, Doc. He's coming through 4 and 5. Here's merry way on that back straight. 3 seconds, as you can see there, is Fizzy. 3 seconds gap between third and fourth, Doc and Fizzy. Despite the fact that Fizzy has that 10-second penalty. Matt in 5th position, assumedly 5th position, and we don't know what position Andrex and Nick Mido are in. Coming through the twisties before 12, as he's catching up to Darbu. Footyard in the RWD, I think Yeah, Futiad is the only non-Audi LMP1 remaining. That lovely exhaust bang. Oh, sounded like someone just went for a slight excursion over the grass. Oh, saw that, Futiad, careful. And Domino is in. So surely this is going to hand the race lead back over to Wycombs. There he is. Getting stuck between Marvin and one of the M6s. That was Villalobos that he got nudged against that. Around the outside of Marvin. Mario Marvin, there he is in the Ligier. And that is going to be race lead. Domino is actually coming out of the pits, so I think Wycombs' lead is definitely smaller than it was before the pit stops. It most certainly was, because he had himself a whacking great lead, 20-second or so lead. That is reduced right the way down. There you see. Oh, that is Doc, I think. No, it's not Doc, actually, who was right next to Dom as he came out of the pits there. That's Nick Mido. Yes, it is. So Nick Mido is now right with Dom on circuit as they come past that LMP2. 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes now remaining of this race. We are well over the halfway stage. A few things to iron out, unfortunately. Let's really see where we stand when it comes to endurance racing here for Apex Online Racing and, of course, in Project Cars 2. See one of the Ferraris just going out the shot there. Domino is right with, assuming by the amount of pressure that Nick Mido is actually putting on Domino, would assume that Nick Mido is actually on the same lap as Domino. Whether Nick Mido needs to pit or not is uncertain at this stage. Look at this chain of cars here. Wycombs is just 3.5 seconds up the road from Domino then, so that lead Wycombs has had has disappeared. But fresh tyres on both cars, we'll see how they're able to do, and this is part of the challenge of multi-class racing. Of course, the LMP1s are drastically faster than the GTs and LMP2s, but of course you get caught out at the wrong moment behind some of these cars and you will lose a whole bucket load of time as Domino comes past Rigor and GT Fanboy. Oops, as the LMP2 leader goes off-road. Now Futiad is in the RWD, so he is now opting to take his pits up alongside Matt. So 5th and 6th are in the pits at the same time, although Futiad on track is actually slightly ahead. So he's of course about to get a lap on him, and look how close Dom is now. Ignoring that's Nick Mido directly behind. Fizzy's got someone close to him as well. Oh, for goodness, I'm going to unbind that. That is Doc directly ahead of Fizzy. Doc is about 23 seconds down from Domino, so we've got a battle for 1st and 2nd, and then 3rd and 4th. It's less than 1.5 seconds between Domino and Wycombs for the lead. It's difficult to tell which car is which. We jump on board. Let's go with that one. Now, the car directly ahead, I believe, is Conor McCoy. Yes, it is. So he's in the Marek. That car, however, directly ahead of us now is Wycombs. So that is the distance for the race lead. And that is what 3rd and 4th are battling. That distance between 3rd and 4th, Doc and Fizzy are battling with at the moment. So that's me playing with the camera control. So Fizzy now has a battle right with him. Dom is getting close to Wycombs again. I think that exclamation mark comes up when they're within. Oh, goodness me, that was Dom really going defensive. I think that's... Yeah, I know, Bankai, I know. Sorry, mate. I will unbind that one when I get a chance to. So Fizzy then is putting a lot of pressure on Doc for 3rd position. Look at that! That's getting very, very close. And looks like Fizzy's really got the pace on Doc at the moment. The exclamation mark comes up within 1.5 seconds of the car in front. Position-wise, of course, as opposed to physically on track, I think. Copy through from Fizzy. Lovely slipstream then as they come across the line. He's got the pass. They're side by side. This is going to be a bit of a braking manoeuvre. Oh, that's very close. Fizzy runs Domino out of road. But Fizzy can't get the power down in time, and he's back into third. As they now have, I think that's McLaren Paris. Yes, it is, but he does get out of the way. Oh, no way, Yorkie. Domino and Wycombes are within a second of one another as well. So there's two great battles then in the LMP1 field going on right now. So I don't know if you heard what I said earlier, Yorkie. Are you able to kind of make note of the issues we've had, or are they already already on the list of things to be worked on, do you think? That's really going to help Doc then, as Fizzy's really caught up in a lot of back markers then. That is Mary Marvin that he's stuck behind now in the Ligier. Ligier does not have to get off the racing line before the LMP1's coming through. Fizzy's now dispatched him, but he's lost time. He's now 2 seconds behind Doc. Oh, race lead is getting very, very close as well. There they are. That's Wycombes and Domino within half a second of one another now. It doesn't look like Wycombes has been able to get back into such a strong rhythm as he had before. As you can see on the lap counter here, that's the last lap recorded, and Domino was 0.3 faster than Wycombes. On board with Domino. So we come around the final turn. Wycombes, of course, that a little bit further ahead on track, but that's not going to help him. Now Domino's getting into the slipstream. It's going to be a dive into time one. Wycombes trying to go defensive, but didn't come across enough. And can Domino slow it down? I think he locked up a little bit, but he has got the move done. And now Wycombes is going to have to do a bit of a counter-attack to get that lead back. So the lead now is handed over to Domino. Wycombes is not going to let that go easily. As that's the... Look at that! Wycombes doesn't seem to be able to keep up with Domino, so Wycombes may well have picked up some damage somewhere. As he does not seem to be able to keep up with the Audi ahead. But it does look like Fizzy has gone back. Has caught back up with Doc. Well, he's gone within 1.5 seconds again. So Fizzy is able to close back in on Doc for that third position, but of course, as we know, Fizzy has got that 10-second penalty. Okay, Walkie, that's cool. I mean, I did post one up about the time trial times, but no one responded to it, so I guess... I mean, you get tons of posts on your SMS board, so I'm assuming it's just been forgotten about. Look at that! That's so close between Fizzy and Doc then. As Wycombes is really falling off the back of Domino for that race lead. Look at that, look at the gap there. It's now 1.5 seconds between the two. Is Fizzy now going to have a crack at Domino? And there you see the slipstream difference. Fizzy's not able to keep up, or not able to catch up rather, with Doc in such a dramatic way that Domino did on Wycombes. As Fizzy completely overshoots his braking point into turn one. That's going to lose up a whole bucket load of time. But if Fizzy's got less aeros, so there's thus less slipstream effect, or less slipstream benefit I should say, then that would explain how he was struggling to slow down for turn one. But he has... Oh, that's close! I think Fizzy's definitely running less aero because he's really closed down on Doc on that particular section. But in the slipstream it didn't make a great deal of difference, as we saw as they come around Colonel McCoy again. I'm assuming, Bankai, that Wycombes has picked up damage somewhere. Fizzy still keeping the pressure on Doc for that third position. I mean, if Fizzy gets past Doc, he's then got 10 minutes to get himself a 10-second gap to hang on to that third position. Here he comes again. He's a bit further back this time. He's just not able to catch up. As Doc is able to get much greater straight line speed. Okay, Yorkie. So is it worth asking for your feedback on any particular issue, or is it a case of leave me alone? Lots of people have asked me about this particular problem. I'm not here to do that. I would perfectly understand. There's one particular issue that's bugging the life out of me, but I didn't want to kind of pester you with it, assuming that you've got lots of people already bugging the life out of you. Oh, we have a pit stopper. It is GT Fanboy in the Ligier. So maybe the LMP2s do need to pit, or unless, of course, he had damage that we didn't see. As, of course, well and truly handed the LMP2 lead over to Mary Marvin. And, of course, he has to pit as well. There's a GT Fanboy. He's going to be coming out onto track very, very shortly. Oh, look at that! Fizzy then is flying up to Doc. Doc jumping onto the inside to defend that particular position. Round the outside of turn 1. Can Fizzy make it stick? Through 2. Slight bit of impact, but no, it would appear that the extra aero on Doc's car is just managing to keep him in the lead. Oh my goodness me, what a cut in front for Fizzy to get that third place. Now can he hang on to it? On board with Doc then. This is where Fizzy's slightly less aero was helping him on this particular straight. And it certainly helped defend in that particular instance. Can now Fizzy open up a gap between himself and Doc? Now he's finally managed to get that third place. Okay, Yorkie, that's very kind of you. The issue I did post relates to time trials. The fact that when you select a car, you can't filter properly by the category of the car. You can filter by that car alone, but you filter by the type of category. Like, if you have a GT3 car, you'll see all the GT1s, the GT3s, and the GT4s. Why? When that didn't exist in PCAST 1. As time trial is a very big thing for me, that's why it bugs the life out of me. As we just see, I think that was Futiad. Yeah, that was Futiad getting out of the way. He is, of course, a lap down. We saw him kick a road going over. Doc is doing his best to hang on to Fizzy, but Fizzy's already got himself 1.5 seconds or so over Doc. Look at that! That's the gap now in one lap between Doc and Fizzy. At that rate, Fizzy will easily be able to get the 10-second gap he will need to hang on to that position. But what has happened to Wycombe? Although I think Wycombe is just being caught out in... it didn't need that going anyway. Yeah, that's true, Bankai. Wycombe, I think... oh, who's just gone off? Oh, Dom! Race leader Domino's gone off at the first turn. Wycombe has really closed back in on him. Wycombe was definitely losing out. Lap on lap on lap, but he's now closed back in again, and Doc is right back with Fizzy again, I think. Who was that going slowly in the background there? Oh, it was Fizzy! Fizzy's had a problem, he's back down in 4th. He's lost that 4th position back to Doc, so he's had a problem off the camera. You can see the gap between the two, and that's actually 2.5 seconds thereabouts, as Doc is now stuck behind one of the M6s. Wycombe's now right back up with the race leader of Domino, and we have another LMP2 in, that's Mary Marvin. So it does look like the LMP2 is going to have to come in much later than the LMP1s, obviously. Well, well, well. Whether they can do it on one tank or one set of tyres, I have no idea, but all the LMP1s have pitted long ago. So who knows? Wycombe's not able to close that gap in, but he is right there. And oh, Doc's gone off again. Doc went off at 12, and that's allowed Fizzy back through again. Oh, look at that. You can see the lap time difference there between Dom and Wycombe's. Wycombe's closed in nearly 3 full seconds. Ooh, Wycombe's has got very little tyres left, as he's got that turn complex 5 and 6 completely wrong. And he's now losing time again on Domino. So it could be the Domino has either got better aero less stroke, no damage, or has got better tyres. Look at that. Fizzy's already got himself over 2 second gap or thereabouts between himself and Doc. So it will seem to be that Wycombs has got a pretty good... Fizzy has got a pretty good setup aero-wise over Doc now that he's managed to get free of his Audi brethren into that third position. And again, you see Wycombs losing time again. He's now back down to 2 seconds behind the leader. And there we go, 1.5 seconds nearly, 1.3 seconds between the two last time around. There is a lot of traffic around, I grant you. But we'll see. We'll see how that transpires. Still less than 5 minutes to go then. And as we're seeing, 1 minute 13. It's pretty much 5 laps to go for the race leader. Thereabouts. At the moment is Domino. But he still has Wycombs for company. Fizzy hanging on to that third place. There you see Doc in the background. Cheers for that, TBW. I see what you mean, Bankai. I see what you mean. Hello, Nismo. Good to see you. Oh, that's one of the Ferraris jumping across that chicane again. As Fizzy comes past him, he's got himself 3.3 seconds, but it's not enough to outdo his penalty. Matt in 5th position finds himself position-wise in no man's land as... Well, he's jumping to the inside. Is that Nick Minder that's with him? No, Nick Minder is actually a few cars back, so... he was letting a car through. Matt was actually allowing one of the lead Audis through. I'm doing very well in this mode. Good to see you. What have you been up to? But according to the map, Matt is not actually on the same map as anybody around him. Oh, we got caught out behind Dawood's Ford there. I think that's Nick Minder coming past him. No, that's not Nick Minder coming past him at all. There's another one of the Audis has just gone past. So that's Wycombs. Wycombs in second. So that was Domino that came past him first time round. Kutiyat in the RWD continues on his merry way. He's just coming around that last bend. He also finds himself in no man's land. 46 seconds down from Matt. A minute and a half ahead of the LMP2 field. 6 LMP1s remain, or 7 including Nick Minder. Mary Marvin completely on his own. I'll say that GT Fanboy 3 seconds down, but with less than 3 minutes to go, and only a 10th a lap difference in actually Marvin's favour last time. It looks like those are the positions that it's going to be for the LMP2 field, of which 3 remain. Conor McCoy is in 11th position. McLaren Paris we haven't seen a lot of. Villalobos is still within 3 seconds of him, but that M6 just hasn't been able to do anything about the dominance of that Ferrari. Although to be fair, Villalobos was actually 7/10ths quicker than the Ferrari last time around, so he's able to close in on the Ferrari but not able to get past him. 2 minutes to go. Conor McCoy in the Marek has had a pretty tough time in this race. Lebo, we saw going a little bit of grass cutting in the Ferrari earlier on in the race. There's Dawood, one of the few surviving Fords. Rigor, we saw come to grief very early on. A massive accident. As you can see, he's still bearing the scars of that on that Corvette. And Rex, we have absolutely no idea what position he is in. Bankai. I'm not sure they are so OP in the GTE class. They are in the GT3 field. And of course Nick Mindo, the other MP1, in the field. I couldn't possibly comment, Bankai. I am to remain neutral, you know that. Well, Fizzy has managed to open up nearly, well, over 6 seconds in relative, but whether that's actually in lap difference, we don't know. Less than a minute to go. Oh, the LMP2s have closed back in on one another. So the LMP2 field or the LMP2 lead could well be fought for in the dying stages of this race between Marvin and GT Fanboy. Marvin must have had a problem somewhere. He actually lost nearly over 2 seconds actually last time around, and that was about the gap. So Mary Marvin having trouble somewhere. Either he's run out of tyres, no, because they pitted very late, so it wouldn't be that. Look at the lap time from Fizzy there, 1:11.5 at this stage of the race, especially with a battered Audi, is pretty impressive. And that is the time out. We have exceeded the hour. Dom then has not long started lap 48. So we will see. I am assuming that the race will conclude when Domino crosses the line once more. Wycombs just shy of 3 seconds behind. Fizzy is just crossing the line. Start lap 48. He's 30 seconds down from the leader. Doc is 5.5 seconds down from Fizzy. Matt is very much on his own position-wise, as we know. Oh, the LMP2s are still pretty contested. Oh no, GTE Fanboy got a little bit out of sorts then with that LMP1 coming past. Is it Nick Mido? No, it wasn't Nick Mido. It must therefore be Matt. No, can't work out which one it was. Oh, is that an opportunity now for GT Fanboy as Marvin was all over the place. Surely this is a chance. Marvin, you're right to the inside as Dom has actually finished the race with Wycombs in second. Unfortunately, I completely missed it. That's not Fizzy that's coming across the line. That's Nick Mider that's just crossed the line. That is where Fizzy is. So I'm not 100% sure. Oh, look at that. The LMP2 lead has changed. GT Fanboy has taken that LMP2 lead on turn 12. Oh, it's a dive bomb then by Marvin. He wants that lead back side by side for the two LMP2s. Oh no, impact between the two. Oh, goodness me. Marvin's now getting away. He's ahead of the two. He's the lead of the two LMP2s. Oh, goodness me. Desperation set in at the last. And there we go. Fizzy's time penalty has been applied. That knocks him down to fourth. So that is Marvin then taking the LMP2 victory. And I think Paris may well have already crossed the line. Yeah, he's on a slowdown lap now. So your class winners, Dom taking the class lead for the LMP1s. Marvin just taking the class win for LMP2. And McLaren Paris taking the GTE win in this event. Well, a few bugs and problems to have to do. We don't know where Nick Mido and Andrex actually finished, unless of course their race shows them as never having completed the lap. We actually look at the timings. They are still on lap 1, as you can see. Everybody has finished, and that is the end of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us throughout this event. It's great to be back commentating for Project Cars. Let's hope that we get some more racing of this particular race soon. But for me, for now, it is time to sign off. So thank you very much, and good night.